The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank you guys for joining us here on an all-new edition of Might Be Tunes. I got Ahmed here. What's up, Ahmed?
You know my name?
I do. Carl. What's up, Carl?
What's up?
We got a special guest. I can barely see him over the screen. It's in front of me. Jess Margera is here. What's up, Jess?
What's going on?
Welcome to Might Be Tunes. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got a very important topic to talk about this week. We kind of teased it a little bit last week. Jess, I'm really glad you're here for it. We're going to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this week. That includes, as always, a really cool Spotify playlist to go along with it. This week is easy, right, Carl? It's easy to pull this shit together.
Yeah. There's a copy-paste job.
Easy peasy. So go to Spotify, find Might Be News Network, find the playlist. It's there. Check it out. Follow it. It's probably huge. I don't even know right now because we haven't made it in this time-space continuum. But let's get to it. Let's get right to it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the nominations for this year were just recently announced. But before we get to those, we were kind of talking a little bit about it off mic about like how it all works because none of us really know, right? It says here ballots are sent to more than 1,000 historians, members of the music industry, and artists, including every living Rock Hall inductee, and the 5 performers receiving the most votes become that year's induction class. So 5 to 7 people get put in every year, and people vote on it. 1,000 historians, artists, people that are living that are still into it. The top 5 vote getters in the public poll form one ballot, which is weighed the same as the rest of the submitted ballots. Eligibility: artists, a group encompassing performers, composers, and/or musicians become eligible for induction 25 years after the release of their first commercial recording. Besides demonstrating unquestionable musical excellence and talent, inductees will have had a significant impact on the development, evolution, and preservation of rock and roll. So,
rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Yes, we talked a little bit about this last week. Jess, I want to see what your opinion is on this. How do you feel about like hip hop acts, R&B acts, and stuff like that getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I mean, Public Enemy's in, right? Because
Yeah.
they deserve it.
Yeah, they're in. Yeah,
Yeah, I
LL
mean,
Cool J, I think Queen Latifah.
I think
Yeah.
LL's getting into it this year.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
My biggest beef is like if Motorhead doesn't win this year or get in this year, that's crazy.
So let's get into this year's nominations. So we have Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, Depeche Mode, the Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, Judas Priest, Kraftwerk, MC5, Motorhead, 9 Inch Nails, The Notorious B.I.G., Rufus featuring Shaka Khan, Todd Rundgren, Soundgarden, T-Rex, and Thin Lizzy.
Now, you can be eligible for a few years before even getting in, I think.
Yes.
All I'm saying is if Dave Matthews Band gets in before Thin Lizzy or Motorhead, then I'm done.
You're checked out.
I'm done.
Checked out.
Yeah.
You're about to be done because I'm telling you, there's
Sounds like a shoe-in to me.
There's a lot of bands in there and acts that you're just going to be like, I don't understand this at all.
I get that record sales is like probably a big thing about it. You know, I'm sure Dave Matthews sold more records than Thin Lizzy, but I mean, just the influence of Thin Lizzy and Motorhead, you know, like it's crazy to me that they're not in yet. It's unbelievable.
You can vote. People can vote on this once a day through January 10th, 2020, and pick up to 5 nominees per ballot. The top 5 artists will comprise of the, quote, fans ballot that will be tallied along with the other ballots to choose in the 2020 inductees. So we as consumers can go and vote once a day, five people per day or whatever, until what is it, January 10th.
Yeah, I was wondering how they did that.
So I'm planning on
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe like all these people are like, yeah, Dave Matthews Band.
right.
Which, sure, great. But I mean, you can't put them in or who else is in, like Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff. It's like you got to put the
Madonna's
pioneers in before them,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
That's how I feel.
Pioneers, Doobie Brothers are on this list. Why now? Like they've been around since the wheel.
And I sympathize. It must be a tough job because there's so many freaking bands and artists and stuff. So it's probably really hard to pick.
Yeah, but you would think.
Yeah, but
right off the bat, okay, Led Zeppelin's getting in here. That's going to be day one. But I think it was a while before they even got in.
So the Doobie Brothers, according to this, they've been eligible since 1996. This is their first time being nominated. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So let's see. Motorhead, they were eligible since 2002. This is their first nomination.
See?
9 Inch Nails, eligible since 2014. This is their third nomination. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. How many they do a year? 7?
Yeah, 5 to 7. They said.
5 to 7, and I mean, think of how many amazing, influential, legendary bands there are, and artists. It must be tough.
Do these guys even really care? These artists?
I don't think a lot of them do.
I mean, we talked last week about like. I one of the most memorable like reactions to like being inducted or nominated was Tom York from Radiohead. He's like, well, that's just a thing that Americans do. Like, I don't really care. I have a tour to do. Like, whatever. He didn't show up. He wasn't there.
It's not really
care.
as big as it sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of fluff.
It's almost like the Grammys. It's like a little club. Like,
right.
I
guess it's bigger now than it was because, at least maybe maybe I just don't remember. But they didn't have like the induction like special that they have on like HBO now. Like there's a whole musical production of it. There's people covering these inductees songs, which is pretty cool sometimes. I know that you get like once in a lifetime kind of performances.
Yeah, sometimes the nominees will get together and play.
The one that sticks with me is Tom Petty and George Harrison's kid and Jeff Lynne and Prince doing While My Guitar.
Oh yeah, that's a popular.
Oh
one.
dude, and Prince just comes out and just tears his guitar to shreds.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
So good. I try to watch it as often as I can, just because like I don't know all these artists, even though they're getting in. Like I don't know who these guys are, so it's kind of cool to like see all the hype built up around it. And to kind of just see for myself the impact that these people had on music, because I mean obviously the crowd knows who the hell they are, at least hopefully they do. But it's just a crazy thing because it happens every year, and like as much as I feel like it's not a big deal, like you said, Ahmed, like it is. Like it is. Like I want to know. I want to know who gets in. Like I want my favorite bands to get in. Like Jess, you're saying with Motorhead. Like you're this is now like a sport almost. Like this is your favorite team in this year's.
I think my thing is that they need to focus a little more on like influencers. Like obviously like Velvet Underground got in years ago. They didn't sell a lot of records. They just influenced the hell out of a lot of bands, and they're legendary in that way.
Sometimes,
yeah. But I mean, if you're just looking at record sales and all that, then, Motorhead probably doesn't stack up next to, Dave Matthews Band or Radiohead or whatever. But Motorhead should be in way before those bands, in my opinion.
definitely.
And you were saying something before we started recording about Motorhead and how why am I blanking on his name? But he threw a fit, and then they got nominated.
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl, right?
Yeah. And another thing is they tried to nominate just the original lineup, like not Phil Campbell and Mickey, who have been in the band forever. So
do you think it's like a thing against Motorhead with the handful of people that are in charge of this? Like, do you think?
I think enough people made a stink about it that Phil and Mickey are not, part of it now. But it's lame that it caused, uproar. They should have just immediately did it in the first place.
You know I'm going there with Kiss. 14 years eligible, and they just got in a few years ago.
And they tried to leave out Eric Singer and all those guys.
Yep,
right? Yeah,
just
the
the original 4.
Yeah.
Fuck everything that happened after that. It's the original 4, and if
Yeah.
you don't like it, fine. And they weren't even going to let them in, but fans.
It was
were
like
camped
at that
out.
point, those guys have been in the band as long as Peter and Ace.
Yeah, and there have been platinum albums since the original 4.
Right.
So it's not about. They can be like, we don't want you in our club.
Yeah.
You don't have to be here. We don't care.
Yeah. If you nominate a band, you have to nominate like at least, vital member. Maybe not like a dude that was in the band for a year or something.
Yep.
Vinnie Vincent can stay home.
Yeah, right.
Like every episode so far that we've done, we have slapped together some kind of top 5 list, whether it's our top 5 album, top 5 performances that we've seen, and whatever. So now, like, imagine this is your job, that you have to narrow this down. And I mean, obviously they don't have to, they're not picking it. It's not like the Oscars where it's the Academy chooses everybody, but like, this is a big deal.
I would make the panel very huge. So it's not some,
Yeah.
I don't want all that weight.
I think they do have to include like newer bands just so like younger people can get into it maybe. Because like my main argument, like I see both sides of it. It's like you don't put Radiohead in before Iron Maiden,
Nope.
Because Iron Maiden has been around forever and they're massive. Like they still sell out like the Enormo Dome.
And have influenced millions of guitar players and drummers and shit.
Exactly. And you would think that they would make it first before, Red Hot Chili Peppers or whatever.
It's like I feel like acts like that and Bon Jovi and stuff like that is just like that pop culture influence into this whole process, right?
See what
I don't know. That New Jersey record was really fucking good.
See, when I hear bands like Bon Jovi, I'm thinking, okay, they're going off album sales and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because that album and what was the one before?
Slippery When Wet.
Yeah. They sold pretty big. And everybody knows You Give Love a Bad Name.
I had them on vinyl when I was a little kid. I did.
Bon Jovi, I mean, they got a lot of hits. They got a lot of
He
hits.
still has hits now.
Yeah,
when
dude.
he puts,
Yeah.
he's, yeah.
All right.
He's a country artist.
He's
now.
my Will Smith for you. We're not going to give him any love.
He's like a country pop artist now.
Yeah. It's crazy to hear some of these like, Steven Tyler went that route.
Yeah. How crazy is
he
that?
He looks like a hot grandma.
Dude, he does. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But like, I guess like the country scene is just kind of it's almost like a phone in like kind of thing now because it's like it's unpopulated. It's not super saturated like everything else is, but it's on its way.
But they're like trying to make it the new, like we were saying earlier. It's like L.A. moved to Nashville, and now they're trying to make these country guys like pop. Pop country, like
like that Billy Ray Cyrus song.
Old Town Road is my son's favorite.
My horses in the bag. You ever hear that song? Yeah.
One time, I heard it one time. I managed to just hear it one time and never again.
It's pretty bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
And like these guys like Kenny Chesney and all them, like you hear their new single, it sounds like a fucking Katy Perry song.
Yeah, no doubt, no shit. It's so weird.
Because the guy who wrote Katy Perry probably wrote it for him.
Right. He's like, oh, and here's the beat for it too.
Yeah.
Just add a little bit of like twang to it, and it's a country smash hit now.
Yeah.
And then they'll be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's so crazy, right? So like, all right. Who is one of your favorite musicians that is either, all right, how should we start this? Like, what should we do? Should we do our favorite artists that are already in it and
somebody who deserves to be
somebody
in it,
that
who's
should
not
be
in
in
it?
it? Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go.
Well,
I just went through the whole list, and there was probably only 2 I didn't recognize. And that doesn't mean that they
Of the
don't
people that
deserve
are in it?
But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty baller list of people that are in there. I can't really want to kick anybody out.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't sold a record in
they started
10
off.
years.
They started off right. You know, like they did all the ones you have to. Chuck Berry, Elvis.
He was the first, I think.
Who's the dude?
Chuck Berry was 1980s.
Yeah.
When did they start this thing?
Chubby Checker.
In the 80s.
They started it in 86.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry was the first.
Yeah.
James Brown too. Ray Charles, Sam Cooke,
Bill Haley, probably.
Fats Domino. They went ham on this first year. I love Buddy Holly.
It's funny, man. I still think to this day that Bill Haley is like should have been Elvis, but he was ugly.
Looking here, the Beastie Boys, they got in 2012. Was that the year that MCA died?
Yeah. Wait, was it? Yeah, MCA. Shit.
Was that the same year that he died, though?
I think so.
2012, around that time?
Was he at the ceremony? I don't remember.
I don't think he was, because they had a couple other people up there covering them. I think it was a couple people.
It's been that
from
long
Trump.
since he's been dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little while, yeah.
The glam rock of the 80s, they completely like glanced over for the main part of what I'm seeing. And metal, they just don't really fuck with metal, it seems.
That's the whole
I mean,
thing.
obviously Metallica's on there. But, I mean, but they don't
You
really,
had to.
they don't fuck with metal. it
But
seems.
Iron Maiden needs to be on there. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's the thing. They keep
looking
they
at
try
this-
to segregate it.
Looking at this list, the people that are voting for it don't listen to Iron Maiden, apparently.
Well, if they're going to put hip-hop and R&B acts into it, like I would feel like they would have to start including some of that,
I
right?
mean, even my dad knows Biggie songs.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be all-encompassing...
It needs a better name, because just saying rock and roll is just way too limiting.
Right, right.
It should, I don't know, the All-Star Music Hall of Fame or something, because I think the biggest hiccup about the whole thing is that it's called rock and roll, and then when you see all these other acts from Biggie to LL to Public Enemy and NWA, you're not immediately thinking that these people belong in there because of what they do.
It's
You're
funny what they
thinking-
call rock and roll these days.
Yeah.
You know, like Maroon 5 will win best rock album or something. It's like, dude, there's not real drums or a guitar on this album.
That's where it's at.
So
I don't know much, but I think rock and roll has a guitar usually.
right.
You know?
At the very least.
Yeah.
So last
3
year's
chords and a guitar. That's all it needs, and then it's rock. It's not that hard.
last year's inductees: Def Leppard, Janet Jackson, Radiohead, Roxy Music, Stevie Nicks, The Cure, and the Zombies. Who out of that would you
Janet Jackson's got to go.
Yeah.
pick out of that?
Yeah.
Janet Jackson?
I don't think of her at rock and roll at all.
Yeah, like 0%, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
she's
know.
a pop chick. Like,
Black Cat.
Well, I bet when Stevie Nicks sings at a concert, she's actually singing.
Janet Jackson sings live.
She does the backtracks. Come on, stop.
like
But she
Public
sings
Enemy
live.
and Run DMC and all them, like technically that's not rock and roll, but like their attitude's rock and roll. So is that how you look at it? You know what I mean? Like,
Got a point there.
yeah.
They also kind of sample heavier things too, as
They
far
cross
as like-
genres.
they cross genres here and there.
Yeah.
They're definitely going the attitude route with the whole thing.
Remember the
Right.
Run DMC Aerosmith thing back in the day? When I was like a kid, I saw that and I was like, what is happening? This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's what influenced Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Really?
That's what. Yeah, when the Def Leppard guy saw that, I saw that in an interview. I think, but yeah, that's what they said.
And the video confused me because it looked like they were fighting. Like they were like enemies or something. But like they made an awesome song together.
Did they kick a door down before the solo, or am I thinking of
Yeah.
another video?
Oh, wait.
He came through the wall or something with his
Yeah.
microphone stand.
And then they start like dancing on a table like Hot for Teacher video or something.
Into it.
Yeah.
Gotta watch that shit.
See, they should
tonight.
do shit like that.
I know.
They
We
don't
need-
have
we need that
kind of-
again.
Videos now just bug me out. Like I feel weird and creepy, a lot of them. And you know, the videos I see my son watching make me feel weird. And they're music videos. But yeah, man, I miss the 80s videos, man.
Yeah.
I miss videos in general.
Yeah.
Like,
When there's a whole bunch of shit going on for no reason,
Yeah.
like the cars you might think and shit.
Yeah.
dude, Beastie Boys Sabotage. The Sabotage video was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, What are some videos that just make no sense to the song?
All of Peter Gabriel's videos.
His videos are straight up trip.
Yeah, Sledgehammer with the 2 chickens dancing and shit.
I think the most like disturbing video I've seen in a while is Aphex Twin with that creepy dude's face like photoshopped on everyone, and and then it's just like this demon screaming in an old lady's face. Like,
No thanks, man.
I was just like, what?
I have enough
what
trouble
is
sleeping.
this?
Shit, I'm trying to think of the last music video I watched.
You got. I just don't like that I have to go looking for them.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to search them out.
It's whack.
I have to remember all the
It's
bands I
whack.
like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't remember all the bands I like.
They need to-
Red Fang could put out an awesome new video and I'll miss it for 3 years.
Yeah,
And
there's
MTV
just
put
too
out
much
awesome
stuff.
videos.
MTV needs to come back.
Yeah,
Make MTV great again.
Yeah, you remember when
Get
they came out with
all-
MTV2? I was like, is that where they're going to play the videos now?
I thought, they were going to put all the shows there, and
Right.
MTV was going to be MTV again.
Right.
Because, there's so many bands and all kinds
What
of shit
happened
that
to
they could
MTV
show
too?
now. Good question.
It just became
it's just
MTV
more
one.
shows.
Yeah.
It's like the shows that aren't popular.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Third time's the charm, maybe.
dude, when you go over to Europe, they still have MTV proper, man. And like I'll be in my hotel and watch it, and I'm like, I miss
See,
this.
that
Yeah.
needs to be back here.
Do you ever just have bad
And,
days
and not
watch
be
VH1?
and show it all like they did in the 80s. You could see Michael Jackson and Huey Lewis and all those and Van Halen all in the same hour.
Yeah.
It wasn't separated. They should have that again.
Did you have anybody in your house that watched VH1?
Me.
You? Yeah, my sisters watched VH1 and it shit was always depressing. I just feel like it was always just black and white videos.
Wait, wasn't-
breakup songs?
VH1 had the pop-up video, though, right?
Yeah,
I could dig pop-up video.
VH1 became MTV for a minute.
Yeah,
They
it
were
did.
cool
Yeah.
for a minute because they had a lot of old concerts and stuff like that.
And then they'd only play videos in the morning, like first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And then now it's over.
Yeah.
Now they just play the Temptations movie over and over again. Which is a great movie.
But
And
that's
16-year-olds getting pregnant or whatever.
yeah, Teen Mom 2.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up when MTV played videos, and that was a big thing that got me into playing music. If I would have grown up 10 years later, I could be just programming computers and actually making a living.
A few years ago, we did a hour-long special on the CKY things for MTV, and I haven't watched MTV in a while. And then I'm finally like, oh, it's airing, and I got to remember to watch it. And it's wedged in between, like you said, Teen Mom 2 and all this stuff. And I'm like, we don't belong on this channel anymore.
Teen Mom, how does that even legal to have
Yeah.
on TV? That freaks me out. I don't want
It
it on my
sucks.
TV.
It's just become like Jerry Springer television. Like,
It's so bad.
yeah.
People love that shit though, man.
I don't get it,
Me
man.
neither.
And we weren't like too old when those kind of shows came out. We were still pretty young when the TV
and-
switched to that kind of shit. We still don't fucking like it.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with the young ones, they'd have guests. Like the first time I
Yeah.
saw Motorhead was on the young ones. They
Yeah.
played Ace of Spades on that. So, yeah, it sucks now. It's
Yeah.
terrible. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, even back in the day, like those shows were like it's cool, like you could be like, dude, they don't play videos anymore, but at least we got like Beavis and Butthead,
Fucking
and all that
Headbangers
stuff.
Ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Headbangers Ball was great.
Yo MTV Raps. Remote Control, I think they had.
Yeah.
Fucking Jenny McCarthy was so
Singled
good
Out.
looking at. Is that what that was? She
Yeah.
was on Singled Out.
Yeah.
Who was on Remote Control?
I don't even remember. I just remember the show.
She's on a fucking TV show now called Masked Singer. Don't. I don't know what she did to herself, but she looks like a fucking fish, man.
She's with a new kid.
Which one?
Oh yeah, Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like him now. They have like the same.
Well,
She's
plastic
with Donnie
surgeon.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Really?
matter. Like after a while, all those LA people, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Eventually, you get enough plastic surgery, and they all look like Bret Michaels. Yeah.
All right, I think you nailed it more than me.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
They all just have the same doctor,
Sound effect.
and he
for
has the same.
I got air horns.
They all go to the same plastic surgery place, and that guy has a template, and they all look like Bret Michaels in the end.
They definitely do.
I'll have the Bret Michaels, please.
Yeah. What's that chick from the Hills? Heidi Montag.
Say no more, fam.
Yeah.
You see the-
Last time I was in LA, I saw Heidi Montag, and she's like young, but she looks like Brett Michaels now because she just kept going back to the plastic surgeon.
Can you just pick like plastic surgery flash like a tattoo?
It's like those memes where it's like they go to the barbershop or whatever and they show him some fucked up picture and he's like, say no more, fam. You know, like, it's like the most haggard picture of Brett Michaels and it's like a plastic surgery off. It's like, oh, say no more, fam. I got you. You're gonna look fucking terrible after this. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
They'll hold up a picture of like Megan Fox and then they get to Brett Michaels, whether they like it or not. Yeah,
You look great.
yeah.
Yeah, you know how like you go to like the hair salon or whatever, and they have like the books out there with like all the different sample fucking haircuts. I wonder if like a plastic surgery place has a fucking book of all these weird faces in it. Just like, yeah, I can take that. I can take that. Make my nose look like that.
Yeah. The thing with the cheekbones and the weird shit. It gets crazy.
It's like a value meal thing. I want a number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm always looking for the special. I don't know if I'd want to go for the special on that one.
Right.
Like, what's on sale?
Supersize that.
Can I get Tommy Lee's dick, please?
Come out and it's on your face.
It's like weird science.
Whoever Christy Brinkley goes to though, that's the dude.
There it is.
Because she's like 70 and I would.
There's a famous story, a Billy Joel story about him talking to a janitor. Have you ever heard that story? Suppose I'll probably fuck it up, but supposedly he was somewhere and a janitor was like, "Man, I can't believe you used to, fuck Christy Brinkley." And this is, I guess, after they were divorced. And supposedly he said to him, like, "Well, listen, man, I'll take your advice when you start fucking supermodels."
Wow.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The janitor probably just walked away. He ain't lying.
So I'm like cruising through the years, inductees by year. And year 2000, the turn of the century, you had Billie Holiday, Bonnie Raitt, Clive Davis, Earl Palmer, Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yeah, baby.
Eric Clapton, Hal Blaine, James Jamerson, James Taylor, King Curtis, Lovin' Spoonful, Nat King Cole, Scotty Moore, and the Moon Glows. They did a lot more inductees back then.
Yeah.
Like even as close as 2000.
Well, they had to fill out that building they just built, probably.
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
got brick and mortar to worry about here.
It's crazy. There's so much.
Business. This fucking building looks like a spaceship, man. Have you any of you guys been there?
It looks like an opera
Okay.
house or something or like the was it the Louvre?
We were playing House of Blues Cleveland and we got passes, right? And I heard they had Bonham's, one of Bonham's kits in there or something. So I go to there and it's like young kid at the door. He's like, "Oh, dude, CKY, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Hey, yeah, do you have the Bonham thing?" And he's like, "Who?" I'm like, "John Bonham." And he's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "You know my dumbass and you don't know John Bonham? You're fired from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame."
See?
And those are the people voting.
Yeah, totally. That's how like Red Hot Chili Peppers beats Iron Maiden.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
See, that kind of shit blows my mind. Just like this thing with Eddie Van Halen right now and the Kid in the Tool concert.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Some kid just recently saw Tool and he wanted a picture of himself in front of the stage after the show. And he hands his phone to some guy who was at the show. The guy happened to be Eddie Van Halen. He's like, "Take a picture of me."
So Eddie Van Halen's taking a picture of this dude in front of the Tool stage, and the guy has no idea.
Wow.
I don't know if I could pick Eddie Van Halen out of a lineup today.
I could. I mean, not only he had his pass on for one, so I'd be like, okay, he's somebody.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't know who he
Yeah.
was.
Right.
But I mean, it's
He does
Eddie
look a
Van
lot
Halen.
older now, and you're not expecting it, for him to be sitting in the crowd or whatever. I
David
guess.
Lee Roth is a different story. I would
Yeah.
know David Lee Roth instantly without even hearing
Well,
his
it's
voice.
Well, I
funny
don't
that
know
you
because he
say
looks
that.
really old now.
You hear
too.
him comment.
It's funny that you say that because a couple months ago
Yes,
there were
yes.
some
It was like a
guys
bachelor
who
party,
were in
right?
Vegas
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
were
yeah.
blasting the shit out of Van Halen. And Dave goes and knocks on their door, and they had no idea who he was.
He was so hyped to see that,
and like he was still, I'm David Lee Roth. Like he was still him. He was like,
He probably fucking kicked it.
Oh, Dave T.
Fucking doing splits.
Yeah, still. Like, I would love to just bug out with him.
This guy was just like,
He doesn't stop, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop talking.
the guy whose door he knocked on was, they were having like their bachelor party or whatever, and they answered the door like, who the fuck is this guy? You're
Yeah.
not our drug dealer, or like
Yeah.
whatever, and like, oh, it was too funny. He was still so hyped though.
It
like,
got uncomfortable for a minute because you're just like, okay, they don't know who he is.
Right.
You're just watching the whole thing. It's just like, this train is going shh.
yeah.
But yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, dude, it's too funny. I would assume that it happens to so many like classic rock, artists. Like especially now, I'm trying to think like recognizable faces. Obviously, John Bon Jovi's one. I feel like I would definitely recognize Steven Tyler if I saw him.
Because I've listened to a lot of these guys so much, I think I would recognize everybody. They just look older. They look the same. They just look older. I mean, the bitch of it is, okay, I'm not expecting to go walking to get a soda or something or leave the show and see Eddie Van Halen sitting in the crowd.
Right.
He probably loved that, though. That no one knew who he was.
Sure.
From what I'm seeing right here, Eddie Van Halen doesn't look like he's trying hard, but he doesn't look like a bum. Where some of these other older guys, like Steven Tyler, he's still trying to look like it's 1975.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was driving down to.
It's kind of cheesy.
I was driving down to Nashville a little bit ago, go work on the new record, and I stopped at the Harrisburg, turnpike truck stop thing or whatever. I'm waiting in line, and this girl in line with me has a CKY shirt with my face on it, right? And I was like, "Hey, I like your shirt," and she's like, "Thanks." Like, oh,
Gave him attitude.
like I'm a creep.
Gave him attitude.
Yeah. I was like, but I'm on the. Never mind. Jesus Christ.
Cops waiting outside the store. Come with
Who's
us.
this guy following me? Just like not too long ago, that lady who was wearing a Metallica shirt, and they were just like, "Can you name 3 songs?" And she's sitting there like, she couldn't name one.
Yeah.
No.
What was it? What, it was a Motorhead shirt, I think. I don't know. Somebody on some show was wearing a Motorhead or a Metallica shirt, and they couldn't name any songs.
It's like these like model chicks that wear like Slayer shirts. And stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't even know what Slayer is.
Right. Same thing with like Wu-Tang stuff. You see people wearing Wu-Tang shirts. It's like
Yeah.
they don't even know Method Man's in Wu-Tang. It's like, are you
Right.
fucking serious, bro?
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break real quick. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Jess Margera, and we're going to talk more about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We'll be right back after this. Hey, Taylor Cooper here, and if you're looking for real, all-natural relief from stress and muscle soreness, you've got to check out our friends at Eunomia CBD. Eunomia CBD products are grown and processed in the USA, nano-amplified, 100% THC-free, and third-party lab tested. Order anywhere in the U.S. and use promo code MBN to get free shipping plus 20% off your entire order just for our listeners. What are you waiting for? Is stress wearing you down? Are sore muscles getting in the way of your weekend plans? Eunomia CBD is a game changer. I personally love their menthol pain relief lotion. Their gummies are delicious, and they even have CBD treats for your dogs. Go to eunomiacbd.com, check out all their products, and don't forget to use promo code MBN for an extra 20% off your order plus free shipping. It's your life. Feel better. Eunomia CBD. That's EUNOMIA. EUNOMIA CBD.com. Go there now. Use MBN as the promo code. Get 20% off and free shipping. Must be 18 years old or older to purchase.
So you've been listening to the Might Be News Network, but you still can't get enough each week? Become our patron on Patreon. Head to patreon.com/MBN Network to become a patron and get exclusive content now. For as little as $5 per month, you'll get access to extended episodes of all your favorite shows, as well as perks including MBN merch and monthly giveaways. Just want to support the network? Become a patron for as much or as little as you'd like. Get bonus content each week and head to patreon.com/MBN Network. Your contributions help us make this network bigger and better than ever before. Patreon.com/MBN Network.
Welcome back to Might Be Tunes. I'm Ed Carl and Jess Margera are here with me. First thing I want to say, I want to get everybody got to tune in on Monday, the 100th episode of Might Be News. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Monday, it's the 100th episode of Might Be News. It's a Monday doubleheader. That's right. We got the first Might Be Tunes live at the Pit coming out on Monday. Now, I went over there this past week, saw Jake and Chuck, and their studio is so much bigger now. They changed a lot of things around. It looks so good. We recorded an episode with the band Tiger Castle. Really cool kind of indie rock vibe with these guys. Very, very good performance by them. Make sure you tune in on Monday. It's going to be fucking awesome. But back to what we were doing here. Jess Margera is here.
Hello.
This is huge. Jess, I've only met you once prior to this, and I can honestly say that from a teenager on, I've grown up listening to you drum.
Right on.
But for the people out there who might not know who you are, Jess Margera, what are you working on now? What are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of stuff in the works. Got to do a bunch of music for new Jackass movies coming out.
Oh, cool.
I guess next year. Yeah, early next year, I guess, or in the summer maybe. So yeah, working on stuff for that with a bunch of different awesome people, and working on a new CKY. We're still trying to figure out where we're gonna do that, but yeah, it's coming together nicely. Yeah, a lot of stuff in the works.
I can tell just by looking at you, you're really excited about all this stuff.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, man. It's like, seems like every day there's like a new thing that I have to run in and record drums to, or whatever it is.
And everybody's all over the place too that
Yeah.
you deal with.
Yeah.
And dealing with musicians through email is a fucking nightmare.
I just recorded a country song, just recorded a rap song. Like I'm branching into new territory, man.
How does that make you feel? Like, what's that like, doing something that you're comfortable with for so long, and then
It's fun because I've been doing this so long. It's refreshing to branch off into get out of my comfort zone,
challenge yourself a little bit?
Yeah, it's like a happy frustration. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's certain things, it's like, if it sounds like I'm doing a train beat for the first time, it's because I am, like shit like that.
That's cool though. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So a country song.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like you getting the country song and just being like, you want me to do what I do to this?
Yeah, I agreed to it because it's like good country. It's not like
Okay.
the new
Okay.
crap. It's like man, it sounds like Waylon meets Skinner with a little bit of Chris Stapleton or something
Okay.
in there. Yeah, it's cool,
Okay.
man. It's really good.
It's got kind of like a bluesy vibe to it then a little bit.
Yeah, it's got like an old school vibe. Like there's electric guitar, but then there's like a lot of I can't describe it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely country, but a cool country.
But it's definitely Jess Margera on the drum.
yeah.
That's awesome. And what was it
For
like?
better or worse, I don't know.
What was it like doing a hip hop track?
That's fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate because a lot of rap that I hear now is like just, it sounds like they could have made the fucking beat on their phone.
Yeah.
On the plane.
They
or
might
something.
have.
Yeah.
They
I
might
know.
have. Yeah.
And when, they're doing it right and all real instruments and everything like that, that's exciting to me,
It's funny you say that. Like as far as hip hop is concerned, the Freddie Gibbs Madlib album Bandana, a lot of people are saying it's like album of the year. Then there was an article written that Madlib produced all of that on an iPad.
Really?
Like he just made all of those beats on an iPad.
Yeah.
Like no problem. Just he sampled everything. He did everything the way that anyone else would on anything else. But
Right.
the fact is that he did it on a handheld electronic device. That was it. That was
Yeah.
the sole thing with it. And those beats were awesome. Like I'm sitting here listening to it, like,
Yeah.
this is great. Like this sounds like some vintage stuff. But then you read about it and it's like, what?
That's what they did in the beginning.
I've been in studios, like really mega studios, and there's rapper dudes in there, and you know, they're making awesome stuff, but it's like, you don't need to be here, man.
Right.
You're just running Pro Tools through the board.
Right.
You're not using all the tracks and stuff. That's what you come here for. If you have like 20 mics on the drums, kind of thing.
Right.
So I mean, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Like you're paying a lot of money to be here, and you could do this in your living room technically.
Right.
They're paying a producer for his ears through those speakers, basically.
Right.
You know, that's about it. But back in the day, man, they made hip hop out of anything that they could get their hands on, and I guess it's the same aspect of whether it's a couple records or an iPad, just whatever they got.
Yeah, I mean, like Dr. Dre back in the day, like with 2-inch tape reels, and he'd hire like some sick bass player to come in and just kind of loop a awesome bass thing, and he's got like what did he always use what's that called?
MPC is what he
right? What's that?
What is that?
the thing that you could do this shit.
Yeah.
I forget what it is.
What's
it's like
it called?
a long, like cone.
We had one of those.
Yeah, Bards
one
and
of those in the garage.
Yeah,
I love that thing. It's a
Theremin.
Theremin.
Yeah.
Themin.
Dude, I love that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It's like a little UFO.
yeah. I want
Yeah.
one right now.
So do I.
Yeah.
We would derail so fast if we had one of those.
Every song would have one.
Bardzik
absolutely.
has one of those, the new ones that Moog makes.
Oh shit,
It's awesome, dude.
it's on there.
Barsnik likes toys.
Dude, those,
Yeah, he's got fun stuff in there, man.
that shit's all crazy. Like I love it when musicians get really crazy with different just either production techniques or just trying to find sounds that don't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right? Because like that's the bottom line of groundbreaking music stuff. It's just trying to outdo everything,
Yeah.
but in like a simple way, right?
Yeah.
Just like who uses a theremin anymore? But like you could that would almost reinvent like whatever genre that you're trying to break
Right.
into, right? If you just broke out something crazy like that.
And the dude we're talking about, Mike Bardzik, he has a studio around here, and I'm doing most of my drums there, and he's down for whatever. You know, you could plug your guitar into his Leslie, like he's got one of those Hammond Leslies. You know, he's down to do whatever, like try different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
It's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you're recording and you're like, oh yeah, this is fun. I forgot.
One day I was just like recording. This was a couple years ago. I was just like putting down random like bass lines, just trying to like create loops, and like I'm struggling because it's all like higher notes, and I grabbed my buddy's bridge for his guitar, and I just put it on my bass. I like fit like guy. It was really snug. Obviously, it's not supposed to be there. He's like. Comes down, he turns the corner, he's like, what the fuck are you doing with my bridge? I'm like, dude, this sounds awesome. And he's like, I played it, and he's like, that is awesome. I'm like, I'm going to do this all the time. And like, I'm out here playing a bass with a stupid bridge on it, and I'm like, I look like a fucking idiot, but it sounded cool.
And then I'll get to points where I'm like, everything's been done. Everything's been done.
Right.
And then a band like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard will come out or something, and you're just like, what the hell? You know, it's like, these guys just... Okay, not everything's been done. Like, there's still a lot to explore, a lot of new territory to break into, I guess.
It's incredible. Music it's just so wild, and like that's why I feel like when we talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, just to bring this full circle here, when we talk about whether or not, like Ahmed, you said that they should just change the fucking name, right?
Yeah,
I feel like it should just be the Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because it's too limiting when you have it as rock and roll. You know, and you have people who aren't rock and rolling or by title.
Right.
It ruffles feathers.
Because I feel like everybody deserves to be recognized.
Yeah.
If you're making classic music, if you're making instant classic
John
music,
Coltrane should be in there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's rock and roll. He's
Absolutely.
playing jazz, but he's fucking rock and roll.
I love him.
I know, dude. Me too. Holy
Buddy
shit.
Guy.
Buddy Guy,
Herb
absolutely.
Alpert.
Yeah.
We're talking.
Are those guys in? Like, Buddy Guy, is he in it?
I'm going to search for it.
Yeah.
I think he is.
He's got to be.
He was in New Jersey last week.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I got to see him.
He's got to be one
He's
of the
getting
first
bucks.
100
$80 a
in.
ticket to see him in Collingswood, New Jersey. I'm like, Collingswood.
He was inducted in 2005.
Fucking
Buddy
paid.
Guy
Good.
was.
I figured.
Buddy
Yeah.
Guy was in there.
Has
Let me
to be.
see.
It's like, where do you draw the line? You know, like when it gets into like jazz and blues and stuff. Like,
Why did it take till 2004 for ZZ Top to get in there?
right?
See, that's
fuck?
Yeah.
that's the crazy shit. That's just like
Okay. Herb Alpert and Jerry Moss are in there. 2006.
That's your boy. He came on
That's my boy.
He came on my shuffle again today, man. That's just too much for me.
Yo, I just found. All right, so I was just messing around the other night on news, and I'm playing some Herb Alpert solo shit, right? And I played. It was from 1979, his solo album called Rise, and I played the song Rise, not realizing that that's where that song in particular was sampled to get Biggie's Hypnotize. That bum bum bum.
Oh yeah,
Bum
yeah.
bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum. Dude, that song Rise is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can listen to Herb Alpert all day long.
You love that dude.
All day long, I can listen to Herb Alpert. It's ridiculous.
that's his shit.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
It is trippy when you find the original sample. Like,
Yeah.
I was listening to Public Enemy by the time I get to Arizona, and then it's from some 60s band called Slidell, I think, or something. And they just totally ganked that. They added some new stuff, but it's that.
When you hear it and you figure it out, it's like, wait a minute, that's
Yeah.
What song is that?
Yeah.
I hate it though when you can't figure out
Right.
what song it is. I hate that shit because I'll just be like,
There's an app for that I use.
what is it?
It's called shit. Called Who Sampled. Who sampled that or something? It's an app.
Okay.
It's an old app.
Really?
You punch the song name in, and it lists where it pulled its samples from, and it lists every artist that sampled that.
How many times is Diddy on it?
He owns it. I think it's his app.
Yeah, it's his app.
Dude, that's so weird that you mentioned that because I was up last night and Godzilla came on. Remember that atrocity?
That come with me shit.
And dude, yeah, he sampled Led Zeppelin, and dude, it's so bad.
Dude, and
It's
then
like-
he got Jimmy Page in the music video.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
poor Jimmy. Why? Because he's just got Zeppelin going, and PJ's just like, yeah, come on, come with me, like over it. It's like, dude, did you just think this up in like 5 minutes on the ride to the studio? Like,
Probably did.
yeah,
And then Jimmy Page co-signed on it.
yeah.
Totally co-signed on it. And then you got on the same soundtrack, you got the Wallflowers covering Bob
Heroes,
yeah,
which is terrible.
terrible.
also.
Yeah. But
That
then
soundtrack is just like the 9/11 of music.
minus the one Rage song. The No Shelter was on that.
Oh, right.
And that wasn't on what was that on one of their other albums?
I don't know. I fell off after Evil Empire.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they put out like the covers.
Yeah, Renegades.
Renegades,
Yeah,
yeah. But that song I remember because like I was like, holy shit. That was like the first time that I really heard Tom Morello.
Yeah,
And I was like, holy shit, what was that? Like,
Yeah.
what was that? And then I was hooked ever since.
he gets an A+ in like creativity. Like he plays the guitar like his own way.
But I hear he's a genius too. Like he actually knows what he's doing. Like he's like a brainiac with his shit.
Yeah.
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 It's funny because the first time I saw him like shred a guitar was at a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing. I forget what he was playing, but yeah, he did like his thing where he does like, you know, all the wacky sounds, but then he like just went into this solo and it was just like Steve Vai shit. You're just like,
Really?
damn, he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shreds, man.
Yeah.
I love it when you can be that good and just like and innovate at the same time.
Yeah. It's like you can tear apart a solo and add your own flair. You know?
He definitely was. And in 92, 93, when they were coming up, that was some different shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
So, and I remember his tone was so clean. Like he didn't use no gain at all.
Yeah.
Records
That's what it sounded like.
He uses like little amps. You know, when
You know,
he
it's
records.
crazy. Chad from CKY has a poster. His band before CKY was playing Dobbs on South Street. It was like 92 or something. And all in the same month that he played there, it was Nirvana, Rage, and Tool.
Crazy.
All in a 200 cap bar.
God.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
I remember the Rage show because that was the makeup date for the when they were at Lollapalooza
Lollapalooza.
naked.
Okay. And they just booked Dobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nirvana played there too, apparently.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Dude, that's so crazy. Like you think about like bands like that and like how like it just legendary status.
Yeah.
And you,
Or how
like,
quickly,
not then.
how quickly they became
not
so
then.
big.
Right.
Yeah, not that long ago, dude. I saw System of a Down at Fletcher's Bar in Baltimore. Again, 200 cap. And then we just played with them a couple years ago in Australia, and they were playing to like 200,000 people.
Right.
It's like, it's crazy to see a band go from that to that.
Well, and now you think about it too. Like when we were coming up, it wasn't like Woodstock was a big deal because like that's a music festival. It's this huge thing. But now you have like all the ones in Europe. You got a couple of them in U.S. You know, sprinkled throughout. Like obviously out west, a couple out here in the east. But it's all crazy now. And like you go from these bands that are playing for, like you said, 200 cap bars to a couple. Few thousand people
in 5 years. They go from playing bars to like an arena, like not even arena, stadium.
right or like a whole field just full of people that may or may not even know who you are.
It was probably the most people I've ever seen. The System of a Down in Sydney, Australia. It was like it went. You couldn't even see the end of it. It just the crowd went forever. It was just like.
What did that feel like to you?
Well, we didn't play that stage.
Okay.
But no, we had a good crowd. But compared to that,
Yeah.
At that point, it's like even the jumbotrons. Like if you're way back, like that must be like you're squinting to watch the jumbo.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in all that
No,
shit.
I wouldn't either.
I look at all that, I'm just like, okay, that looks like a terrible time.
Dude, I look at like festival videos and stuff like that, and I'm like, I bet the line for the porta potty is horrendous.
Remember Live Aid?
Horrendous.
Live Aid, not that many people, but it was hot as shit.
Yeah.
No.
Good on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch from home.
Yep.
Thank
I got
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. And they aired that shit all day.
Because they'll get all close too.
Yep.
You got the best seat in the house. In the house.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, like I get it. Like you want to be there. You want to be surrounded by the energy, the people, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Take
You
a
have
bunch of
to at
ecstasy.
least be this big. Like I have to be able to make out who you are. None of that real far away shit.
You're
None of
hearing
that.
the echo of the second set of speakers.
Yeah. None of that. If it sounds like a racetrack, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
But it's like I would assume it's just hit or miss. You have to get there early. But then I don't know. I just always was just like, how the fuck do you get back to that spot?
You always just push yourself up. But then as soon as you get up there, you're like, you got to
trapped.
piss or something.
Yeah,
And
right.
you're like,
Stuck.
Or you need a beer.
God forbid you got to pee or go get another drink, and you're
stuck.
You better bring your whole crew. You're not finding them.
Yeah, and it sucks because if it starts to move, if they start to get into it or mosh or whatever, you're trapped in that shit. You can feel like you're losing your breath,
Right.
like you're gonna die in there.
Right.
And I don't know why this is a thing, but every time we play one of those festivals, your phone doesn't work at all.
No.
It's like everyone's sucking up all the juice
Yeah.
from Verizon or whatever.
It's like there's too many people concentrated in one place that it can't figure out who's who.
Yeah,
even-
I'll try and post a Instagram or something, and it doesn't post because like the service just everyone's
It's freaking out.
Yeah.
Everybody's on it.
Can't even text an animated
Verizon's
GIF.
having a nervous breakdown.
So Jess, you've played all over the world. What was one of your favorite places to play?
Amsterdam's always fun.
Yeah.
They're good crowds.
Yeah.
And then the after parties are always good.
True that.
Just because of obviously where you are and you know the things that you can do in Amsterdam, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, towns like London and stuff like they have a special place in my heart because my band's been through a lot of ups and downs, and the towns that don't forget, you know, even if you go away for 8 years or whatever, like it's like you never left when you go there.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate.
Well, your English friends are like just straight rock thugs.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
What? So you like playing a lot overseas. Where's your favorite place to play in the U.S.?
New Orleans is good.
Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, actually, Flint, Michigan town sucks, but the venue there is awesome.
What is it?
The machine shop?
Yeah.
Chicago is always fun. I could do without L.A.
Just the whole vibe out there, the scene.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on out there, but every time I play there, I can't wait to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been that far west. The furthest west I've been was Vegas, and Vegas was crazy. I bet. Have you ever played in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it nuts out
We
there?
just play there a lot. We played with Danzig out there recently.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's fun. Psycho Las Vegas.
Next time you go to Denver, I'm coming out and changing some drum heads.
Denver is awesome, man. I always have a good time there.
I've
There's
always
a hell of
heard
a
Denver's
scene there.
awesome.
There's
yeah.
a hell of a music scene out there.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about Denver. I like want to know what it's like just to be a mile up in the air,
Right.
you know, and like how different that is.
That's one of the towns. It's weird, like because like I said, we broke up for like 8 years or something, and some towns you go to and you're bigger than you ever were because they missed you,
Right.
and sometimes towns just moved on without you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Rochester, New York, for some reason, it was like, yeah, they moved on without us.
Right. Right.
And Iowa, the two that stick out. Yeah, they don't remember us.
Yeah. Yeah. What place remembers you the most?
Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we played Detroit, it was like the biggest show we've ever played.
Really?
Even when we were like on TV every day and stuff, you know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't
That's
know-
great.
I don't know what's going on there, but they remember us.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Hell yeah. So Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Did we talk about who we wanted to get in this year?
No, we didn't.
Who-
We're gonna
who-
start that?
Let me see. Let me pull up the list again of who's
I
who.
think it's a crime that Thin Lizzy is not in yet.
That's what I was going to say. That's who I want in this year.
So they're saying that we as consumers need to narrow it down to 5 on our ballot. So let's do that. But before, let me just rename the ones that are there. So Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, Depeche Mode, the Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, Judas Priest, Kraftwerk, MC5, Motorhead, 9 Inch Nails, The Notorious B.I.G., Rufus featuring Shaka Khan,
Yeah.
Todd why can't I say this guy's
Rundgren.
name? Rundgren.
Nobody can say his name
Todd Rundgren.
or name a song.
He's a
of
Philly
his.
guy, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from PA.
Yeah.
We
Now
we found that out last
We
week.
learned about him last week.
Soundgarden, T-Rex, and Thin Lizzy. So let's come up with 5.
Soundgarden.
I'm gonna Thin Lizzy.
Okay? Here, I'm going to write this down. Thin Lizzy.
Motorhead for sure.
Yep.
Judas Priest for sure.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
MC5.
MC5, dude, yeah. I mean, just for the influential, you know, maybe they didn't sell a ton of records, but
They
like,
influenced some bands.
hell yeah. Iggy and the Stooges, all those guys, like,
That Detroit sound that was going on then.
and T-Rex, man, influenced Bowie and all
Yep.
them. Like, yeah. So
and that's 5 right there, I think.
yeah.
That's 5.
See, I look towards the older bands because they've just done more.
Yeah.
Well,
You
we
know?
should put the Doobie Brothers in there.
It's like 9 Inch Nails, sure. What's the other new one?
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden,
Yeah.
great bands, but maybe wait a little bit.
See?
Get
all
Thin
those other
Lizzy
ones
in
have-
there first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
give-
those guys should be in there
Give
first.
Soundgarden his easy top treatment.
Right.
You'll get there.
Yeah, just hold off there, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is putting hip-hop artists in. I would personally drop one of these for Biggie. Just simply, if we're talking about influence and everything too.
Right.
You want to talk about influence, like that's
Yeah.
for that genre of music.
Tupac's already in, right? So Biggie's
Is he?
next.
Yeah, the
It's
decision's made.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Obviously,
is, you're
the
right.
decision's been made that they're letting these guys in. So it just has the rock and roll name. I don't
Yeah.
think
That's what, again, that they need to change that.
Right.
or outrage culture, Ahmed. I'm not that outraged. It's just a name.
But I'm saying that's where the problem lies. That's where a lot of people get all bent
Yeah.
about it.
Well, just let them get bent, and then just
You know, this
and then
thing,
just keep marching forward.
this thing, it'll keep happening. People will be like, "What? Why is he getting in there?"
Although I will
I
say,
agree. It should just be the Music Hall of Fame.
right?
Like,
Just
then you can
simplify it.
include everybody.
Yep. Then it's no debate. It's no problem.
Yeah.
I gotta
Boom,
get all
it's
these
that.
new signs made. You know? Gotta recall all our shirts.
Yeah.
As long as Todd Rundgren doesn't get in there,
I mean, I'm sure he's awesome, You know, I've heard some stuff that's good, but does he deserve a place before
He can
Thin Lizzy
wait.
and stuff?
Yeah,
No.
he can wait.
We could probably get an interview with him. He'd probably be pretty easy.
Probably. Yeah, he's probably like
Todd Ruggren.
Where's he live? Paoli or something?
What are you working on these days, Todd?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Ruggren, for being on with us. This week on Might Be Tunes, we have Todd Ruggren. It's Ruggren.
Yeah.
Rangren.
I'm going to see Pentagram on Friday, and that's a band that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Should have been Black Sabbath, but because they were first.
You did a show with them that I was.
Yeah,
that
they opened for us, which I was
that
like,
was in New Jersey, right?
that was in Long Island.
Long Island. Oh my god!
And the
it's so
singer
weird up
Bobby
there, man.
Liebling changed into his leather pants on our bus.
The Northeast is a weird fucking place to play shows, and like some of those little one-off up in the New England area.
Ahmed will appreciate this story. Pentagram. So they were first. They did the Sabbath shit before Sabbath, but they're from Maryland, so everyone got a boner over England stuff. But also the singer had a terrible drug problem, so he screwed up pretty much everything. So after their like fourth chance and then blowing it, finally the Blue Oyster Cult producer tries to take them on, but the singer got all messed up on heroin and screwed up. Then Gene and Paul go to Bobby's mom's basement in Maryland. They were playing like Baltimore or something. Kiss was playing Baltimore. They got in a limo and went to Bobby Liebling's mom's house to see Pentagram rehearse because they love Pentagram and they wanted to sign them to Casablanca.
See.
And again, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley are in my mom's basement watching us play, and he blew it again because he was all whacked out on drugs. And Bill and Gene and Paul just left like disgusted. But it's like, dude, how many times can you blow it, man? Like, such a bummer. But amazing band. And you'd think they'd like sell more tickets than they are because like Jack White just covered one of their songs and blah, blah, blah. You'd think like people, I don't know.
It gets weird like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Prince with that song "I Feel for You."
Mm.
I didn't even know it was a Prince song. I thought it was a Shaka Khan song. And apparently a bunch of other people covered that song as well. But yeah, I thought it was a Shaka Khan song for the longest time.
Can you name one Todd Rundgren song?
I was sitting up here trying to think of it when you were trying to say his name. Like, do I even know? I'm trying to think of why he's even famous in the first place.
He's been eligible since 1995.
I've heard some
did he
of
pay?
his stuff. I can't
I know he's a guitar
name
player.
any names, but I've heard some of his stuff. It's good.
He's got 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
He's a guitar player. He's a pretty popular guitar player. I know that
Yeah.
from the 70s.
But like he's like a band's band, you know, like people in
Right.
bands know who he is,
Yeah.
but the common person usually doesn't.
His best known songs, the Carole King. I Saw the Light from Carole King. So he plays on other people's stuff, right?
Okay. So where I'm at with Biggie on this list, because it's this is a jam-packed list. I want to say that, like, all right, Biggie can wait. It's his first year being eligible. Oh wait, he's been nominated. Well, no, sorry, that was 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails has been nominated 3 times. Biggie, I'm just like, all right, if Tupac's in, Biggie's got to be in. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that has to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's clearly lopsided if that's like the case, because those are the two like
kinda
most
law,
influential, right? Like you have to that has to be.
yeah.
So I'm personally kicking T-Rex off the list.
The Tupac conspiracy that he's still alive is the one that I hold on to the most.
I think he is, dude.
Every time
because
somebody brings it up, I just go, God, I hope that's fucking true.
Because when we were on Def Jam, dude, they were putting out like double albums and stuff when he was dead.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, did he really have 100 tracks laying around when he died? Like,
Guys that talented,
Prince
though.
does.
Those guys were so talented. He was so talented. He could just go into a studio probably and leave with 10 songs in a night.
yeah.
And just turn the mic on and him go. He
Yeah.
could just go.
Doesn't mean all the songs are good.
Right.
He made
Probably
100 songs.
Some copy and paste action going.
Half of it's skits.
Yeah.
Well, and that was back in the day too, where none of these guys own their own masters either. So like, I would imagine that some of those double albums that they put out during that time were just like reworked acapellas that they had just laying around.
Cutting
They're
on
like,
the floor.
time to put a new Tupac album out. It's about that time. You know what I mean? Because they did the same thing with Biggie at some point, but I think they only did that once. They had like one album where it was like him over a bunch of like refurbished beats.
The Born Again album.
Yeah.
Well, how many songs do you think that they would cut back then, and just to pick out the 10 that went on the record, they might have recorded 30
Oh yeah. Oh, easy.
with the amount of money they would pump into records back
Oh,
then.
for sure.
Somebody needs to do that. Somebody needs to like fake their death and then just come back. It would be insane.
I'll do it, but I don't think I'm going to want to come back.
I actually said that too when we were on Def Jam. And Jay-Z was our boss. and I had a meeting and the band was already like over. We were like dysfunctional as hell. It was the end. So I said to Jay-Z and Paul Pontius, our A&R guy, I was like, I think we should just die. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, you've seen the Blair Witch Project, man. Like, they just got a cop saying that, you know, whatever, we could just get a cop and it say, you know, something happened to us.
Right.
You know? And they were like, that's fucked up, man. And I was like, yeah, but it's like, I wanted to expose the internet for being bullshit.
Right.
At the same time as it would have been amazing if we died. Like at the height of our career.
I'm thinking about Josie and the Pussycat. You ever see that movie?
No, not the movie, no.
Because it doesn't matter. Even you could say you died and then book a tour a year later and just be like, yeah, it was just a fucking internet rumor. Like you can say anything you want.
Everybody loves you when you're dead.
Okay, if I
That's true.
right now was like went on whatever, like CKY, BAM stuff, blah blah blah. That's 10 million people that I'm reaching. And I could just say, I saw Ben Stiller beating the shit out of an old lady in an alley, right? And 10 million people read that, and then they share it, and then it's a thing. There's like a lot of people that believe it. And it's total bullshit. And then even if I get proven wrong, and I admit the story is bullshit, I just made it up. I was drunk. If enough people read it and it goes viral enough, for the next 10 years, every time Ben Stiller's on the red carpet of a movie, they're going to be like, you old woman beating motherfucker.
Or like somebody's going to ask him about it. Like, hey, when you beat up that old woman, like, what did that feel like?
So
like, what?
I always thought that was ridiculous that it could be true, you know, like by internet standards. So I said, let's expose this.
Like the rumor about Ozzy, somebody spitting in the bowl or whatever and passing it around and that shit. Somebody made that up and that never happened.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like,
will you see?
What if Kurt Cobain was like Nirvana just booked a tour and it's like, yeah, Kurt didn't die. He faked it.
Yeah.
It would have been the craziest thing in the world.
Wild.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden everybody was like, Kurt Cobain is alive.
Yeah.
And it's just like, right. He just shows up at the show.
How many people are in America right now? 300 million? Like 200 million would buy tickets to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Grandmas would
the resurrection
People
tour.
just want to believe, man.
And it's totally possible.
Sure.
He could be like living in Vancouver Island or something and nobody knows, you know?
He's at Dave Grohl's house just chilling.
Yeah, just
chilling.
hanging out. Yeah.
He's writing his songs.
Writing
for him.
Playing Xbox.
Probably put on. All he needed to do was gain 20 pounds and nobody would recognize him.
Yeah.
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 But I'm bummed that Paul Pontius and Jay-Z talked me out of my brilliant idea. I thought it would have been awesome. Plus, it'd be cool to read all the shit about you.
Yeah, for sure.
If people think you're dead, like, you know, I want to read all the comments.
And you're rich as shit.
All the fake stories about you.
Yeah.
You're rich as shit overnight, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich as shit overnight because automatically album sales are just going to skyrocket.
Yeah, and that's
You
the
know?
thing. I think, you know, it's not illegal to fake your death if you don't, like, cash in some life insurance policy or something. If you just, you know, fake, like, whatever. It's easy, man. I'm probably still going to do it, actually.
You heard it here first.
When I'm like, you know what, I had enough. Like,
We'll give you the Epstein
I'll
treatment.
fake die. Yeah. Andy Kaufman shit, you know?
Well, Jess, thank you so much for being here tonight with us, man.
Absolutely.
This has been a blast.
Thanks for having me.
Carl, Ahmed, great job as always, guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
Everybody, make sure you go check out Spotify, find the playlist. This one will be fun. Make sure you tune in on Monday for the 100th episode of Might Be News and the first episode of the season from the pit. We got Tiger Castle live in the pit. It was a great show. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be a blast. Have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time.